quite interesting, because there are so many surprising issues in this verse. By the way, I'll just comment on them. 6th canto, 17th chapter, 4th and 5th verse. What 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹 Goswami is saying here, that Chitraketu, who actually became a Gandharva, in previous life he was a king, Chitraketu, but in this life he is a Gandharva, and he actually was a devotee of Lord Shankarshan, and he was gifted Vishnu Dattena Bhasvata, it is said, Vimanena. He was sitting on an airplane, Vishnu Dattena, which was given to him by Lord Vishnu. Now, what does that mean? That means that Chitraketu was a devotee of Lord, and a pure devotee, because he is being favored by the Lord. He is being gifted this beautiful airplane. Why? Because he was a Gandharva and he wanted to travel all around the universe and sing the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is important to know, that he was favored by Lord Vishnu. And he was also friend of Lord Shiva. Girisham Dadrishe Gachan. He had a friendly relationship with Lord Shiva, because Shiva is also a pure devotee, and they had good relationships. Now, Shiva was once traveling in the universe with all his associates and Parvati. And Parvati was sitting, 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗶𝗄 Dr. Parvati was actually sitting on his lap, and Shiva was embracing him. Now, Chitraketu saw this, 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗶𝗄, he laughed loudly. Now, here is a point. Why did he laugh by seeing Lord Shiva in this situation? One thing is that externally, so you will read ahead in this chapter. Externally, he told Lord Shiva, see Lord Shiva, you are such an exalted personality, and you love Parvati and Parvati loves you, that we all understand, but in public you should not be doing that. This is not a good etiquette, this is out of etiquette, and that's why he laughed. But actually what was actually happening behind the scenes, as we say, when Shiva was traveling, there were so many other rishis also traveling, all his associates, and they never laughed. It might have been a usual scene, Shiva sitting with Parvati. It's not an unusual scene, because otherwise all the associates might have been also be surprised what's happening today to Lord Shiva. So nobody laughed, but when he saw, he laughed. What was happening? There were two hidden reasons which made Chitraketu laugh at this point of time. The first reason, which Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, is that Lord had a plan. Now, this is important thing. When I told Chitraketu is favored by the Lord, because he has got this plane, Vishnu, by Vishnu. He has got Vishnu Dattena Bhasvata, very effulgent plane by Lord Vishnu. He is being favored by Lord Vishnu, and we should understand that when Lord favors, we should understand, or we can't understand both ways, that when Lord favors, nobody can understand how he is favoring his devotee. It's impossible to understand. Lord wants, through his favors, he wants us to become disentangled from this material world and go back to spiritual world. But how he executes his favor, that's a mystery to everyone. In fact, Bhagavatam repeatedly reads stories, and Lord is doing something which externally seems very bad sometimes. Apichet sudhuracharo, it might seem really bad out of etiquettes, but that's a plan of Lord. Just like Jai Vijay were cursed by these Sanat Kumar, and when Lord came, then what happened was, then he told his doorkeeper Jai Vijay that you should not worry, because it's my plan. Because of my inspiration, they cursed you. and that's my favor. I want you to go there and I want you to fight with me, and this will give me pleasure. So when Lord wants some service from any devotee, or Lord wants any devotee to come back to spiritual world, He plans. And of course, God is infinite, His plans are infinite. Lord is inconceivable, His plans are inconceivable. We can never understand what He is doing, why He is doing. When even devotees, Vaishnavara Kriya Mudra Veke na bhajaye, when even devotees' actions and words cannot be understood, how can we understand Lord's actions and words? So, what is happening is, due to Lord's mercy, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶 is actually inspired to laugh at Lord Shiva. In usual routine, he would not have laughed. I mean to say, he is not a foolish person. But he laughed at this point of time. This was purely an inspiration of Lord. It was His plan that he should laugh. Just like it was Lord Vishnu's plan that 4 Kumaras should curse Jai Vijay. Similarly, here is a plan of Lord Vishnu. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶 should laugh at Lord Shiva, and then Parvati will curse 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶, and then he'll become a 𝗙ص demon, and then afterwards, after this demonic life, he will just come back to spiritual world quickly. So Lord wanted to hasten his coming back to Godhead. That was Lord's plan. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶's plan was that entire life as Gandharva, he will sing the glories of Lord, and that's how he will attain the Lord of his life. But Lord has another plan. He might have seen something. He saw something in 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶, and he saw that particular thing in 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶, and he saw that there's an obstacle from him to approach my spiritual kingdom. And if you read Prabhupada purports further, Prabhupada mentions there was a big problem in 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶. Although he was a devotee of Lord, he was Gandharva, he was favored by the Lord, but he would not have achieved Lord in this life or in the next life because of this serious problem. And the problem was, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶 was actually a devotee of Lord Shankarshan. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purports ahead, when you read afterwards in the chapter, that he got pride that is a devotee of Lord Shankarshan. Srila Prabhupada writes that he also got pride that he is better than Lord Shiva in devotion. So somehow he got this conception in his heart. He is a devotee of Lord, he got the pride. That pride not be a gross thing, but it should be but it would have been a very subtle pride. But yet, pride is pride. Even a scent of pride will stop you from going back to Godhead. And Krishna wanted to get him out of that. And that is why he wanted to get him out of this situation of Gandharva and devotee and a favored devotee. And he wanted to make him a demon, turn him into a demon, 𝗙ص, so that all his pride is gone. Now he is a demon. And when actually 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶 became a demon, 𝗙ص, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶 immediately realized that, my God, I'm in such a demoniac body, I'm so I'm in such a contemptible situation, and this is complete. This word is not completely good. This body is not good. I want to get out of this body and go back to my Lord. He understood what was happening. He understood why Lord gave him the body of 𝗙ص. He understood that he wanted to destroy the pride of 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶, that he is a devotee of Lord Shankarshan. That's what Lord wanted to get him free. So that was the second reason why 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶 laughed at Lord Shiva. The fact that he laughed at Lord Shiva showed, Prabhupada is mentioning, showed that actually he got pride, that he's a better devotee than Lord Shiva, and that's why he laughed at him. So that's one thing. These are some hidden secrets which Prabhupada mentions, due to which 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗶 laughed. Whatever it is, it was simply a plan of God to hasten his arrival in spiritual world as fast as possible. This is Krishna, this is God. We might have some plans in our life that we will serve God like this, we will serve God like that, or Krishna might be having different plans that, well, I want him back to my spiritual kingdom, so I will arrange his life like that. I will get him cursed, I will get him defamed in this world, and that's how this devotee will not want to stay in this world, and he will come back to me as quickly as possible. There was one saint in Maharashtra, 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹, and 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹, he was a pure devotee of Lord Vitthal. If you go to Maharashtra, people who know him, 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹, he actually, Lord Vitthal, he asked 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹, do you want to come back to me? And Vitthal said, well, I want you to come back to me. 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹 said, no, actually, I am happy chanting your glories, and that's okay. So Lord Vitthal said, but Lord Vitthal could not stay without him, and that's why he arranged a famine in his city. So there was a famine in Maharashtra, and people were dying, and there was no food to eat, and 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹 was completely frustrated. And then 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹 prayed to Lord Vitthal, Lord Vitthal, I want to come back to you. This is complete nonsense. I can't see the suffering of people. And the Lord Vitthal said, okay, well, if you're asking me to come back to me, okay, I'll fulfill your desire. So that's how Lord arranged for him, that he develops a desire to come back to the spiritual world. So, so it's not necessary that you might not be a pure devotee, or you might be a mixed devotee, or you might be even a pure devotee, but Lord has plans to bring you back to spiritual world as early as possible. It is said by one of the Christian saint, and I think she said that if Lord is, if any time in your life you face a lot of problems, a lot of sufferings, it's for sure that your Lord is planning for your quick arrival in the spiritual world. That's what she said. And that's what Kunti Maharani prays. Vipada Santu Tadvat. Kunti Maharani says, let those sufferings come back again and again and again and again, so that we can see your lotus face, oh my Lord Krishna. Now that sufferings are over, now that battle is over, Kurukshetra, the battle of Kurukshetra, now you're going back to Dwarka. I want that the battle should continue, or some other problem should be there, so that you stay with us. That's a devotee. So we should always remember, Lord's favor comes in ways which we can't understand, which is beyond our comprehension. We might think Lord's favor is will come in a way that will be happy, will be peaceful. It's not like that. You see here, Chitraketu, Lord's favor came to him as a gift of an airplane, and then Lord's favor came to him as a curse from Parvati. And in fact, Chitraketu gladly accepted that curse. He didn't retaliate, and Lord Shiva praised that, oh, Chitraketu, he didn't retaliate because he is a devotee. Lord Chitraketu could understand that this is a plan of Lord. Immediately after Parvati cursed, and he accepted. He said, well, if this is a will of Lord, I gladly accept. So, to unite our will in God's will, that is devotion. That might be difficult, because sometimes we want something, and when it doesn't happen, we are completely disturbed, and that shows that we don't understand who is God, and we don't understand His workings, and we don't accept His will. One thing is to accept His will forcefully, another thing is to accept His will gladly. Chitraketu did that. So that's one very beautiful point in this purport. And Prabhupada writes, there have been many instances in which a devotee acting as a demon has been brought to kingdom of God by the mercy of Lord. Jai Vijay. For 3 lives, Vishnu said, either you accept 7 lives as a devotee or 3 lives as a demon. Jai Vijay could completely understand that this curse from these 4 Kumaras is definitely a plan of Lord, because in Vaikuntha nobody curses and nobody becomes angry. And 4 Kumaras, they are perfect devotees, and why should they curse? Of course, why should that curse the doorkeeper of Lord Vishnu? It's crazy, doesn't make any sense. So Lord inspired them, and 𝗙𝗵𝗍 understood, and that is why 𝗙𝗵𝗍 said, okay fine, we want to become 3 lives demons, because 7 lives devotees will be stuck up in this material world. 3 life demons, we are coming back to you. That's the whole idea. Being a devotee in this material world is also not a right position. The idea is to go back to Him, because Srila Prabhupada said that even if you are pure devotee in this material world, you are always at risk. You are always at risk that illusion, Maya, will actually delude us. Many great devotees, they fell down because this is a world of illusion. You are living in the world of Maya. Bharat Maharaj, he was almost perfect, he fell down. Priyavrat Maharaj, he was doing tapasya and he was distracted from his tapasya. And then there are so many devotees in history who were actually distracted in this world of illusion. Indradev Maharaj, who actually became Gajendra in next life, he was deluded by the force of Maya. So all these instances show us that even if we are pure devotee, we are completely in danger in this material world. Even if you are so even if you are Jivan Mukta, even if you are liberated by living in this material world, still we are at danger, because we might be liberated from this bodily concept of life, but still we are in this material world. So Prabhupada, that's why I said Rupa Goswami escaped from this material world. Srila Rupa Goswami, he escaped from this material world. For Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada said. So although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he prays Mama Janmani Janmaneshware Bhaktat Bhakti Rahi Dukiti. So although Mahaprabhu prays, let me have birth after birth, but in every birth, let me have devotion to you. Bhaktivinoda Thakur comments on that. Well, Mahaprabhu is not praying that I should have birth after birth. Mahaprabhu is saying, if I have birth after birth, let me have devotion to you. But my ultimate desire is this cycle of birth and death should stop, and we should come back to you, to your spiritual world safely, and then serve you there eternally. This material world is always dangerous. We should always remember that. Srila Prabhupada said that as soon as we forget that this material world is dangerous, we will not fall down. We are already fallen in that case. So sometimes we forget that we must escape from this material world and we must go back to spiritual world. Sometimes devotees are so enthusiastic to preach that they think, okay, let's stay in this material world and keep on preaching. But that's not a good idea. That's a stupid idea, because the ultimate point of everything, even the ultimate point of preaching, is to purify ourselves first, and ultimately to go back to Godhead. Prabhupada has repeated so many times in his purport, back to Godhead. If Krishna wants us to stay here, that's okay, we will be gladly accepted. But with a sorrow in our heart that we are away from Him, He's in the spiritual world, we are here away from Him, we are separated from Him, that sorrow will always be there. That fear of illusion should always be there. That if that's not there, then that is lack of devotion and love. So 𝗙𝗵𝗍, Supreme Lord, He actually there's a saint, a Sufi saint, he said that you might want to attain Lord, but the day you come to know how much He wants to attain you, you will completely go mad. We might long for God, but when we understand how much He longs for us, then we'll go mad after Him. That's what he said. And that's of course very much the theme of this whole story of 𝗙𝗵𝗍. That's a theme here. 𝗙𝗵𝗍, he is a devotee, he longs for the Lord, and that's why that's why he became a Gandharva, and he asked Lord Vishnu that I want to sing your glories with so many Gandharvas. Vishnu gave him his Viman, his airplane, and he was singing the Lord's glories. Of course, he had a longing in his heart to attain Lord, but he couldn't realize. But he couldn't realize how much Lord Vishnu wanted him. Lord Vishnu longed for him. That he couldn't realize. Even if he realized that, he couldn't understand how he is planning for him to come back. You see, Lord loved him so much. Lord wanted him to come back immediately to him. There is a concept in 𝗙cie𝗋𝗶𝗹 which is called as so Ramanujacharya gives this concept of liberation, and when he says of all liberated devotees, of all devotees who are after liberation, there are two kind of devotees. One type of devotee is who wants liberation. Another type of devotee is who wants liberation now at this moment, and that is called as mumukshu, who wants liberation now and at this moment. So and the first type of devotee wants liberation, and he leaves everything up to Lord. Lord, if you want to give us liberation, that's okay. But another second type of devotee, which is more advanced, he wants liberation now, at this moment. He wants to unite with Lord now. He cannot stay without Lord. And seeing the longing of the devotee, how much Lord longs for them. If this is a position, this was a position of actually 𝗙cie𝗋𝗶. He wanted Lord, he wanted to go back to spiritual world, and Krishna wanted to fulfill his desire. Krishna wanted to fulfill his desire more than what he desired. That's the whole point. A child might love the mother, but the child can never understand or imagine how much the mother loves him or her. They can never imagine. And so when the child grows up and when they have their own children, then they understand, oh, actually how much parents loved us. So we can't imagine how much God loves us. We can't imagine how much God wants us to get liberated from this material world and go back to him. And that is why the proof of this is that Lord is taking so many incarnations after incarnations after incarnations to rescue us from our unfortunate position in this material world, and he sends so many saints so that we come back to him. That is what Krishna is, and this is a proof that he wants us badly back home, back to Godhead, because he knows that only in that condition we'll be happy. There is no other way. And the amount of planning we do to go back to Godhead, Krishna is planning 100x times more than how much we are planning. So Krishna wanted him to come back, and Krishna saw the best way for 𝗙cie𝗋𝗶 to come back is get him cursed. 𝗙cie𝗋𝗶 would not have even imagined in his wildest dream that that's the best way. 𝗙cie𝗋𝗶 in his mind, he was thinking the best way to go back to Godhead is to become Gandharva and sing the songs and actually please the Lord 24 hours as Gandharva, travel in the whole universe and sing the glories of Lord. In his mind, that was the best way. Just like we think the best way to go back to Godhead is preaching and preach to the entire world, and then we can go back to Godhead, we'll get his favor. Yeah, of course, preaching is the best thing you can do. That's the best activity you can offer to Krishna, to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But how God plans, when you preach, Lord will decide, okay, this is a good devotee, I want him back to my spiritual world, and then what Lord does, that's fill in the blanks. Nobody can tell. Nobody can even imagine. 𝗙cie𝗋𝗶 would not even imagine in his wildest dream that he'll get cursed by Parvati and he'll become a demon. Who can imagine? I mean to say, we all devotees, we can't even imagine that whole life we are practicing Krishna consciousness, and the result of practicing Krishna consciousness is that we get cursed by somebody and we become a demon in the next life. Come on. If somebody tells us, we'll not even like to think about this proposal, what to even accept this proposal. A Lord thought about this plan, and he thought, okay, this is the best way, so he did that. So that's the whole point. If we want Krishna badly in our hearts, then Lord will devise mysterious plans for us, which will be inconceivable to us, which might be little troublesome for us. Becoming a demon is not at all good. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗹, when he became 𝗙ષ𝗹𝗹𝗃, he got a irrepressible urge, irrepressible desire to eat meat. He couldn't hold himself. And as a devotee, if you're eating meat, if you can't control eating meat, what kind of guilt you might be having in your heart. And then he became the leader of all demons. What about that? And now he is trying to fight demigods who are actually devotees of Lord. How much pain 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗃 would have got, becoming 𝗙ષ𝗹𝗹. Oh my God, I am trying to kill Indra, who is actually representative of Vishnu in the heavenly planets. I am trying to fight demigods who are devotees of the Lord, Vayu and Varun Dev, and here I am eating meat. What's happening? I have gone crazy. And he was put into that situation, in that kind of body. That was hell for 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃. That was hell. And that's why he told Indra, when he was fighting, please kill me as quickly as possible. I want to get out of this situation. I can't tolerate this situation. It's actually beyond my tolerance. But please kill me. It's a favor. It's a favor to me. So why did Krishna put him in such a troublesome situation? Especially 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃 was a very good devotee of Lord Vishnu, and here he's doing a Vaishnava offense. He's killing Vaishnavas. It's even beyond offense. He's eating meat. He's killing living entities, and he's leading demons, inspiring them. How can a devotee live this kind of life? But Krishna purposefully put him in this situation. That's the mercy of Lord Vishnu. That's the entire life what 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃 did. The entire life he sang as Gandharva the glories of the Lord, and this is the result. So are we ready to accept this kind of result? Are we ready? Of course we are not ready. Of course none of us are ready for this kind of favor of Lord Vishnu. And of course none of us even want Lord Vishnu badly. None of us even want badly to go back to spiritual world. That's the situation, and that's why nothing happens in our life. Nothing exciting happens in our life. Nothing dangerous happens in our life. Nothing troublesome happens in our life. Our life is continuing as what it was and what it is, and this is how it will be, and we'll die, and then we don't attain him. The idea is, another idea in this whole incident is, who produces the longing to attain God? This longing to attain God, that's very difficult to attain. That's a whole game, by the way. That's what Rupa Goswami says, Tatra laulyam api ekalam moolayam. That desire to long, the desire to attain Lord, mām-ichhāptum dhananjaya, the longing to meet Krishna, to dance with him, to kiss him, to serve him directly in his home in the spiritual world, that longing is extremely difficult to get. Srila Prabhupada writes in one of his Prabhupada, I was reading, I think today only, Srila Prabhupada writes that longing to attain Krishna, that takes many births. It's not easy to get. Because why? Because we are contaminated by lust. Srila Prabhupada says, we long for this material world. We long for ourselves, we don't long for God. But we want that longing. Rupa Goswami says, if you have that longing, you're going back to God, right, in this life. But when you long for God, when this longing comes in your heart, how this longing comes in your heart, that's mercy of God. That proceeds from Lord. You cannot construct it in your mind. Okay, I want to attain Lord. I want I want to attain Lord now. No matter how much you think, that's after some time you'll forget everything, it will become normal. That's not true longing. That's not the longing of a fish for the water or the longing of a lover for the beloved. It's just a mental sentiment which remains for some time and then goes back. How should we get that longing for the Lord? That is a function of mercy of Lord. That Lord will produce in you. That's the whole idea. No amount of sadhana, no amount of philosophy, no amount of efforts can actually produce this longing. When your sadhana, when your efforts, when your philosophy are blessed by the Lord, then through His mercy we will attain this longing for the God. And what do we mean that through the mercy of Lord we will attain this longing to attain Him? What do we mean by that? Is there any magic? Krishna will say, okay, fine, now I will give you the longing to attain me. That's not how it happens. It's not magic. Of course, there might be a component of some kind of mystery there. How God's mercy works, nobody can understand. But it's completely understandable. What is Lord's mercy? Lord's mercy comes in the form of circumstances in our life. Lord creates certain circumstances in our life by which we are forced to choose God and to reject this material world. God actually creates such circumstances that we ourselves willingly decide, okay, I want to go back to God. That enough is enough. He will create such circumstances. And what kind of those circumstances will be? Will those circumstances will be happy or sad and troublesome? Of course, they'll be sad and troublesome, because only in troubles you will say, enough is enough. I don't want this material world. So that is why I said that a Christian saint, she said, if Lord favors you, if Lord is planning for you to come back to Him, the first thing that will happen in your life is you will start facing troubles and sorrows in your life, and the circumstances will be happening in reverse, so that you become completely frustrated with this material world, you become completely frustrated with this material body, and then you will say to Krishna, Krishna, please, I don't want to stay here, it's nonsense. That's how Krishna works. So that's the mercy. So Krishna creates circumstances in lives of devotees, and those circumstances shapes the heart of devotees and shapes the sentiments of devotees in a way where the devotee will start having a desire to attain Him. And that is why so that is one of the name of Lord Vishnu in Vishnu Sahasranam is Neta. He is a perfect leader. Today we were reading Bhishma Suti. One of the names Bhishma said in the first verse of Bhishma Suti is Satvata Pungave Pipumni, Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Pipumni. One of the name of Krishna is Satvata Pungave. Satvat means devotees who walk on the path of truth. Satvat. Pungave means, Pum means humans, Gave means lead. Who leads humans? Which humans? Devotees. Who leads his devotees to his final destination. How he leads? Through his mercy. What is his mercy? His mercy is his planning for his devotee to create certain circumstances according to his psychology, according to his personality, according to his attachments to this material world, according to his doubts in his heart or convictions in his heart, to create certain circumstances by which the devotee will become completely detached and completely frustrated with this material world. He will be completely convinced this material world is useless, this material world is a piece of shit. It's vidbhujam, as Rishabdev says. It is nonsense. As Mahaprabhu says, it's a stool of pit. It's a stool of pit. That's what Krishna will make us get convinced about this material world. This body is a bag of stool with 9 holes. We will get convinced, no problem. If we are not convinced yet, Krishna will do something. Krishna will, if Krishna really favors you, He will create situations in your life where you will not by force but willfully you will say, Krishna, now I am convinced, I have seen enough, now I am convinced this is nonsense. That's what Krishna does. That is his favor. Krishna creates circumstances, and through circumstances he inspires realizations in his heart, and he also gives power to retain those realizations, and he matures those realizations to get converted into a longing to attain Krishna. That's, by the way, that's Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness and devotion is nothing but love of God. And love of God is nothing but when devotee longs for Krishna and Krishna longs for his devotee. It's from both sides. This is a beautiful story where Chitraketu is longing for Vishnu and Vishnu is longing for his devotee. And that's why Vishnu gave him this beautiful plane. Vishnu actually gave him this beautiful curse, if you see from that situation. And he's back to Godhead. That is what is all devotion about. We have to somehow long for him. We have to somehow, by our chanting, by our hearing, by our preaching, whatever we are doing in life, whatever Krishna conscious activity are doing, the ultimate result should be, we should have the desire to meet God. Srila Prabhupada says in one of his lectures, we should have desire to meet Krishna face to face. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. We want to meet him face to face. One of the Sufi saints, he said, I want to kiss my Lord. In a poetic fashion, he said this. In the Song of Solomon's in Bible, it is said, attain your beloved Lord, marry him and become his bride. All religions, by the way, I am giving examples of all religions, the aim and object of all theistic religious practices is to get this one desire. That's what Rupa Goswami says, Tatra laulyam api mulyam ekam. If you want Krishna, there is just one price. You should want him badly. That's the whole price. But jannu koti sukruti apina vidyate. But that wanting him badly, that will not come so easily. First step one is you have to understand that the aim of your practices of Krishna consciousness, Shravana and Kirtan, is to develop this want, develop this desire, develop this longing, develop this urge to attain him. That is the whole point there. And why I am telling this is because we can practice Shravanam Kirtanam entire life with no clue at all that the aim of Shravanam Kirtanam is to develop this desire. Absolutely no clue. And even if we have some kind of clue that the aim of our practices is to develop this desire to attain the Lord, devotees don't have the technique, right technique to do it, so that they can really develop this longing to attain him. Desires don't simply are not simply sufficient. We should have a right technique also. So first of all, they don't have a clue that they should have desire to attain him. Second of all, if they have a clue, they don't have a right technique. And third of all, even if they have a right technique to actually practice the Krishna consciousness in a way that it produces a desire to attain him, they don't have mercy of God. That mercy comes with patience, a lot of perseverance, a lot of determination, a lot of commitment to this process, and a lot of enthusiasm and encouragement, and not getting depressed along the way, because the journey is to back to Godhead is not actually full of roses, but it's full of troubles all along, and it's very easy to get depressed. But if we can continue, then we are blessed by the mercy of Lord, and then we can get this longing. And the meaning of being blessed by the Lord is Krishna will create situations in our life by which we will develop slowly and steadily a desire. I don't want to stay in this material world. I don't want to stay in this body. This is nonsense. This material world is not worth living. This material world is dangerous, and I want to go back to God. That's what this whole incidence of Chitraketu, and especially this verse, is talking about. Which why Chakra Thakur, he quotes this beautiful verse, by the way. Bhaktim bhutim hari tattva 𝗙viccheda_अनुभूतये. This is a beautiful verse. Bhaktim bhutim haritatva. Haritatva. Haritatva means Lord wants to give. So the verse says any devotee who has a bhakti in his heart, Krishna wants to give him something. 𝗙viccheda_अनुभूतये. And what he gave him? 𝗙viccheda_अनुभूतये. 𝗙vichcheda means feeling separation from him. He gave Chitraketu a feeling of separation. That's what he gave. How he gave? Devya shapena vrittatvam, through the curse of Parvati. So Vritrasur is actually not. So Vritrasur got cursed by Parvati, but actually Vritrasur is not seeing the whole situation that he got cursed. Vishnu Thakur saying, Lord didn't give him a curse as a favor. Lord gave him intense feelings of separation by creating this situation. And intense feelings of separation means a longing to attain Krishna. That's what Lord gave him. And this is what we are aspiring for. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually showed us. Feel separation from Krishna. This is what Srila Prabhupada said. Feel separation from Krishna. And that separation from Krishna, that means a longing to attain him. And that Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, one devotee approached Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, and the devotee said that actually I don't have I don't have longing to attain Krishna. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, well, if you don't have longing to attain Krishna, then develop a longing to attain that longing. That's what Bhaktisiddhanta said. Okay, so I think I'll end up here. Any questions, anything anyone wants to ask, you can ask me. तुमको आवाज कट कट के आ रही है धीरे धीरे. हरे कृष्ण. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful, insightful class. Really understand that Krishna is longing for us to bring us back to Him. Yeah. So
आपका नेट ज्वाइन कर लो, क्योंकि नेट से ब्रेक हो गया.
Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Prabhu, your voice was breaking a lot, so a few things I missed out.
Oh.
Prabhu, first thing, as you're saying that.
Can you wait? So can you please hold? I'll just connect to different internet. If somebody would have. I'll just change my connection. Just to wait a minute.
Yes.
ये आपसे जुड़ा हुआ है. ले. अच्छा अभी ऑन किया है. Okay. Now my voice is clear or what?
Yes, Prabhu, much better.
Okay.
Yes. Prabhu, my question is. Yeah, my question is, Prabhu, like you said, we should have this longing to meet Krishna.
Yeah.
Like end of all our sadhana, the ultimate goal should be to meet Krishna.
Yeah.
But when you're saying it, I was also thinking when Canto 2, we hear so much about Krishna's glory and how wonderful, how huge he is. So it also feels like he is too far because he is way too big for a tiny soul to have the desire. It feel like dwarf trying to touch the moon. So how do we bridge that gap, Prabhu? That is one question. I have a follow-up also.
Well, to attain Krishna, Yeah, I mean to say we are tiny, we are small, and to attain a longing for Krishna, that's very difficult. That's one thing. But that's a point. From our end, we should always think it's very difficult. From our end, we should always be thinking that it's a hopeless case, that actually that we can attain Krishna. But at the same time, a devotee is convinced that by the mercy of Lord we can attain that longing. So the mercy of Lord, that makes, can you just hold on? So the mercy of Lord, that makes impossible possible, and that's the whole point there. So we depend on the mercy of Lord, and that's how we are convinced that we can attain the longing of the Lord. That's the whole point there. So both things we have to remember. From our end it's not possible, from Krishna end it's possible, and that's then all the situation becomes harmonious and it comes together.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for that answer. And along with that, in the same line, you said there are techniques the devotees don't, even if they have such desire, but there are techniques, they don't know the technique. That point of time, your voice was breaking a lot. Did you mention the techniques as well, Prabhu?
Well, I didn't mention the technique, by the way. I just told that the devotees don't know the technique. That should be another whole kind of seminar. That devotees, if they have the right technique to do Shravan and Kirtan, if the devotees know how to do Shravan and Kirtan in such a way that if you develop love of that longing to attain Krishna, then they can perfect the Krishna consciousness. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Prabhupada says this, that is the art of Krishna consciousness. I use the word technique, but Prabhupada used the word art. So that should be another talk, whole. How should we do Shravan Kirtan with a goal to attain longing, and that requires a proper technique. I didn't mention any technique, by the way, but
okay, so that gives us a chance, Prabhu. Please give us a class on techniques so that we know how to do the Shravan and how to do the Kirtan. Please, Prabhu.
Maybe.
Thank you for your association.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji, as Mataji told, your voice was breaking last few minutes.
Acha.
So we were having a few things. Okay, so next is Shubhkar Prabhuji. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Keshav Anand Prabhu Dandavad.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, now from the Chaitanya Bhagavata, somebody asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is the definition of a Vaishnava? He told, Khaite, Shuite, Poshite, Cholite, Je Krishna Nam Kore, Se Hoy Vaishnava.
Yeah.
That means to become a devotee, you should just keep on chanting incessantly, Satatam Kirtanto Mam, everywhere you should. That is the only way to just understand Krishna. So that is one thing, but I got one more confusion. The devotee said that if you go to Srimati Radharani, where Gaudiya Math, then she knows how to get to Krishna. So I went with Barsana. After coming back, I could find I'm getting a little more taste for Krishna. I'm not proud, but I'm finding it good. So what I want to ask is, I know that Radharani came from Krishna, but somebody was telling Radharani is the heart of Krishna. So without Radha there is no Krishna. So can you just explain on that point? There is little confusion that they are same, or is Krishna the energy and energetic and energies, but I am not really clear that Krishna himself is surrendered to Srimati Radharani. So we have to just keep begging Srimati Radharani, please help me, Mummy.
So
can you just
no, so what's the confusion?
No, I want to know whether we should we should keep Radharani in the mind and just concentrate on her, then Krishna will come. Is that the technique or?
No, it's once Srila Prabhupada says if Radha recommends you to Krishna, Krishna will accept. Prabhupada said once.
That's right.
But then the question is, whom will Radha recommend? That's a big question. Now, according to Vrindavan, Vrajvasis, they think if we do devotion to Radha, then she will recommend us to Krishna. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he just reversed this point and he said, well, if you do devotion to Krishna, then Radha will recommend you to Krishna. Why? Because what pleases Radha the most? Serving Krishna or serving her? That's the whole point there. Now, if you serve Radha, then that pleases Krishna. But if you serve Krishna, then that pleases Radha. That's what Narottam Das Thakur says. So what's that verse? Narottam Das Thakur says, Krishna Chandra Pai Radha. What's that? If you serve Krishna, then you attain Radha. If you serve Radha, then you attain Krishna Charan. There's a this beautiful poem by Narottam Das Thakur. So Bhaktivedanta Thakur said, well, so there was one devotee, a big king from Jaipur. He came to Radha Kund, and he was doing parikrama of Radha Kund. And devotees came and he said, oh, he's such a big king. They told Bhaktisiddhanta, he's such a big king and he's such a great devotee of Radha. Bhaktisiddhanta said, yes, but in our Gaudiya Vaishnava, we don't think so that he's such a great devotee of Radha, because if you want to please Radha, then you have to serve Krishna and not Radha. So it's entirely a different kind of understanding, a different take, and it seems logical, I mean to say. From whom Radha will be happy? A person who serves her or a person who serves Krishna? Radha is so happy if anybody serves Krishna. So that is why Bhaktivedanta said that if you think about Krishna, if you say glories of Krishna with this thought that this will please Radha, and that's the perfection of Krishna consciousness. The idea is if you become attached to Krishna, then Radha is much more pleased, and then he will recommend us to Radha, to Krishna. That's how it goes. And that's what all the devotees who are actually surrendered to Radha, all our Goswamis are Manjaris and Gopis, and what they are doing, they are simply glorifying Krishna. They are not always saying Radhe Radhe. They are not saying, although we can say Radhe Radhe, that's okay, but all the Goswamis are completely focused on Krishna. Goswamis have written many poems on the glories of Radha also, that's okay. Srila Prabhupada, actually one devotee asked Prabhupada, Radha is so important, I am in Vrindavan and Radha Kund, and Radha is so important, and without Radha you can't attain Krishna. And he was writing so much. Then Prabhupada wrote him back, without Krishna, Radha is an ordinary girl. First understand that. Prabhupada said that. Yeah. So that's our whole point, these things are there, but we are not too quick to go to that platform. We have to work on the foundational level, and then automatically things happen. That's a whole story, there.
I think probably in short, we keep chanting message, that's enough. Both Radha Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna is a good way to do things. Hare Krishna, that's the point. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Megha Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Salvar Shisha Prabhupada, 𝗙cie Dr. Prabhuji, wonderful class. I just love the point that you said that, when Krishna's mercy happens, that is when one can feel this longing to go back to Krishna. And that is by these different, circumstances that Krishna puts us through, where, there's distresses and everything in the person's life, and they actually find that enough is enough, and that is when they develop this longing. Otherwise, you can do lots of sadhana and everything. We see so many people doing so much sadhana, but then they don't have this longing to go back to Krishna. They're doing everything, but that longing is not there, and that's really important when you said that. It's when Krishna's mercy happens. So when this Krishna's mercy happens in a person's life, that they develop this conviction that there's nothing in this world for me. So we also hear on the contrary that a devotee is happy, even in this material world, and they're not supposed to feel that they want to go back, in the spiritual world to serve Radha and Krishna. So I see a little conflict there. If you can just clear up that confusion, Prabhuji, for me, that would be great.
Yeah, devotee are very happy to serve the Lord in this material world. You see, I like to put it like this. When you take a person, any human, the emotions are not just one emotion, they are very complex. Human personality is a complex personality, and we have a lot of emotions. It's all mixed, it's not just one emotion. So devotees are happy to serve him in this material world. At the same time, devotees are very sad that they are separated from their Lord. Because how do you define love if you don't, so if you are not experiencing any sorrow without your beloved, if that's not happening, then that's not love, of course. So it's a mixed feeling of happiness, and sometimes devotees might sing songs where they're expressing only their happiness, that my Lord, I'm so happy here serving you in your service. Sometimes they sing songs where they express only sorrow that we are separated from you. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ante Leela, he's expressing his sorrow, without you, my Lord, what should I do in this material world? I can't live in a moment. Sometimes devotees express in their songs both feelings. So there's a feeling of happiness, there's a feeling of sadness, there's a feeling of fear. Also, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela, you'll see all these play of emotions in the heart. By the way, that's Krishna consciousness. That's called rasa. This mixture of emotions is called rasa. There's the feeling of fear that I might lose this devotion in this material world. Mahaprabhu says there's a feeling of envy also, by the way. Although we don't talk about spiritual envy, but there is something called as spiritual envy. If you read Chaitanya Ante Leela, there's a feeling of hate also, hate for oneself, that so many lifetimes I didn't serve my Lord, and I'm doing so many offenses. It's a mixture. When all these feelings mix, then that is called rasa, which Krishna is trying to give us. The definition of rasa which we have in our mind is very superficial. We think rasa means happiness and peace, but that's not the point there. That's not the point. So the answer to your question is, it's all mixed. Devotees might not express those feelings, they might focus on one feeling, and that's why we might feel, oh, actually that devotee is so happy serving Krishna, so that's okay. But that's not the point there. He is actually hiding all those feelings in his heart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram. You see, just before this verse, he says, Mama Janmani Janmaneshwari Bhaktat Bhakti Kitvai. He says, let my birth happen, but I want devotion to you. But right in the next verse, he says, Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram. Oh my Lord, I am drowning in this material ocean. Please pick me up and place me as a dust of your lotus feet. So it's both emotions. You see, previous emotions, he is expressing his happiness in serving in this material world, but next verse, that sorrow immediately bursts out from his heart and tears all the happiness and comes out, oh my Lord, but I can't stay without you. And the next verse is, well, Shunyayatam Jagat Sarvam. I am so sad that I can experience darkness everywhere. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's idea is that sorrow actually envelops all that happiness gradually as we advance in Krishna consciousness, and then that sorrow touches the heart of Krishna, and then Krishna develops a longing for us. Then he says, okay, I can't tolerate the sorrow of my devotee, and I want him back. And that's how it happens. So does it clear your confusion?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. It's just all mixture basically. It's not just one emotion. There's mixture of different feelings that happens, which is the rasa. That's how it forms the rasa. That's what I understand. And the follow-up question is, so when one has these this longing to attain Krishna, and understands and sees the hand of Krishna in every situation. Obviously there's been lots of different things that happen in between in the life of a person, where they sometimes there's like lots of these aparadhs, and you become part of you start being with devotees, and then you hear aparadhs from different people about different devotees. So how do we, because obviously we need to have a simple heart. We can't just have longing for Krishna. We need to also try to develop those qualities that makes, us dear to Krishna. So that is also a process, and due to our conditioning, sometimes it does take more than one lifetime. As you said, when we develop this longing, it's mercy of Krishna, and that is when we can go back in this lifetime to Krishna. But then this whole process that comes after that, because of our conditioning, how do we...
See, I'll tell you, I understood your question. Yeah, I got your point. See, the point is, I'll tell you, you see, I'll tell you, actually, we require a dictionary, by the way, because, conditioning doesn't mean that we are bad, and liberation doesn't mean that we are good. Liberation means we are beyond conception of bad and good. Conditioning means that we are looking at a situation from a wrong perspective. That's conditioning. We are conditioned to our ideas, whether good or bad, both. And we are looking at the situation from a wrong perspective. And liberation means we are looking at the situation from the perspective of God and not from the perspective of goodness and badness. How Krishna sees the situation, if we see the situation, that's liberation. And how we see the situation, or the society sees the situation, or our whole the conception we have developed according to culture, or what we see the situation, that's called conditioning. Now that should be very clear. So having said that, if you see the situation from Krishna's eyes, the situation might be if a devotee is not practicing Krishna consciousness nicely, and if he has some ulterior motives in Krishna consciousness, then he is not a good devotee. So is it a Vaishnava offense? No, it's not a Vaishnava offense, it's reality, and Krishna sees him as such. Krishna, when he sees a devotee, he sees, okay, he's a hypocrite, and he's having something in his heart and he's showing something else. And if you see that like this, then you are liberated. Then you don't get, then that's not a Vaishnava, then okay, it's a Vaishnava offense, we should not think about devotees like that. Well, that's reality. To remain in assumptions, that's called conditioning. We can remain in assumptions and be very happy. That can also happen. And we can always think good, but that's not the right thing. That's not the right thing. We are simply conditioned to our goodness then. So we should not worry about so much about Vaishnava Aparadh and so many bad qualities and this and that. Krishna says, just get over it and see the whole situation from my eyes, and then everything is good. No matter, from our angle that might be bad, because we had learned and we had like wired our brain, this is bad, but from Krishna angles it's not. Krishna said to Arjuna, Arjuna, kill your guru. Arjuna said it's bad. Arjuna said all scripture says no, nobody has killed their guru in the history. And Arjuna said to Krishna, Krishna, even you in your none of incarnation you killed your guru, and you're asking me to kill guru. That's the worst sin we can do. That's the worst offense we can do. And you're putting me in that situation. Krishna said, well, that's my opinion. So Arjuna was seeing from his situation, and that was really bad thing, really bad according to scriptures. But Krishna said, if you look from my perspective, then that's not bad, not good. That's what we have to do. That's reality, and that's called liberation. So devotees get disturbed because they're conditioned, because they think this is good, this is bad, this is. We should not think like that. What Krishna wants, how Krishna is seeing the situation, that's all. And if you can keep yourself in reality, you will be happy, you will be peaceful, you will not be disturbed, and that's called liberation, that's all. So Srila Prabhupada said so many times, Srila Prabhupada said in his letters, when Prabhupada used to get information for his devotees, some devotees used to come, and devotees used to say to Srila Prabhupada, that devotee has actually spoiled the center. He has actually spent so much thousands of dollars and wasted so much money, and Srila Prabhupada said he's rascal. Prabhupada, he's a rascal, nonsense devotee. So then what's happening, why? So, well, he wasted money, and that's all, and he should be He should be criticized. Why do you waste money of Krishna? He should be reprimanded, isn't it? We can't say, oh, he's a devotee and this. Well, you should be careful in service of God, that's all. And Guru can do that. It's a duty of Guru, he should do that. And that's okay. So you see, it's a whole rewiring of a brain we require. Liberation is something else. What we think, that's not liberation, and what we think, that's not conditioning. Generally, devotees take conditioning to be having bad qualities, and liberation means to have good qualities. That's what is a very superficial definition of what devotees think. Now Krishna says, Shubha, Ashubha, get over this. There's nothing good, nothing bad in Krishna consciousness. Nothing good, nothing bad. Whatever can be used in service of Krishna, whatever benefits Krishna, that's good. Bas. That we have to think. You got the point?
Yes, yes, got it. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Shyama Guru Mataji. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Very, very wonderful class, Prabhuji, and very different perspective. How 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹 became demon, and that was beneficial for him. We cannot understand these things. Sometimes something happens in our life, and I don't know how come it gets beneficial for us. But Prabhuji, how to react to the situation when we are like completely broken down and everything is like going against you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what
Sometimes
will you
this
do?
happens. Of course, it happens. Everything goes against. That's what somebody asked Prabhupada how to react. But Prabhupada said, precaution is better than cure, and we have to make ourselves strong. That when the storm comes, we can resist it. If we are weak and storm comes, we'll be broken. So the best thing is we make ourselves strong, and we actually read Bhagavatam in this capacity and rewire our brains and make it strong. And actually the whole point is we get broken because we expect that everything will be good. You see, we get that's how human mind works. If we expect, okay, we are practicing and everything will be good, and it doesn't happen good, oh my God, then we are broken. If we expect, okay, if we practice Krishna consciousness, I am ready for anything, then the impact is less. And if you really think, if you're on step 3, and if you think, well, I expect really bad things in this material world. What do I accept? I don't expect anything good. This is material world. This nonsense world. So I expect bad. So if anything bad happens, you're okay. Anyway, I expected this, so it doesn't matter. So that's one thing. But generally, we are all very weak, and something happens, we really get tensed, and things happen. So in that situation, what we can do is, in that situation, first of all, we should have some friend. Vishwanath Thakur says, Guyama khyati prachyati. There this principle comes. Guyama khyati prachyati. We should have a friend in whom we can confide, whom we can talk our details of life, and that friend should not be like us. That's the whole point. Otherwise, कहते हैं राम मिलाए जोड़े कंधा कोड़ी problem है. You should not be like us.
What did you say, Prabhu?
I said राम मिलाए जोड़िए कंधा कोड़ी. One friend is blind, another friend is lame. Both are like that. Same. Nothing doesn't help. We should have a friend who is more advanced than us, more realized, so that when things happen, we can discuss, and then he can actually bring our confidence back. That's Vishwanath Thakur says, a devotee who doesn't have a friend like this, he will definitely have problems, and when problem comes, he'll break down. So that is why we have to search a good company, keep some friends like that, so that they are able to help, because they're more advanced, they are able to help us, and then we can, I mean to say, I also have friends, when we have some problems, we discuss, and things happen. And another thing you can do is, best thing you can do is, anytime you have problems, all have problems, anytime we have problems in our life, Just tell Krishna. He is in your heart. Yeah. That's the best thing. I tell you, that's my experience. You tell Krishna in your heart, Krishna, this is a problem. Please help me to get out of it. Please, at least, I mean to say, you can tell Krishna, Krishna, I don't want service from you. I don't want you to solve my problem. I don't want to give you tension. But please encourage my heart. And he will do that. He will do that. Automatically, all the confidence will come. And once confidence comes, solution follows. And he guides. So, these things work like that.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Mataji, for that wonderful question. So, in fact, it's necessary for every one of us. So, to be strong, we should be strong in situations, and we should just pray to the Lord. So, not anyone else in the material world who are also conditioned. So, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Shubhkar, Prabhuji, do you have anything to say?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have one last question, Prabhu. See, what I can see from Chitraketu's case, when he was cursed, he kept quiet and he accepted the punishment, Parishit Maharaj, all. So, I am not comparing myself. Some reverses are coming. So, previously I used to immediately go and fight and shout. But now I thought that whatever is happening, Krishna knows. Because Krishna is the boss and nothing happens, ek patta bhi nahi rehta hai. So, just to accept it, that yes, Krishna is helping me to clear my sinful reaction of the past life through this person. So
Okay.
I should not get annoyed with this person. He is an instrument. So how I can shout at him? I should just keep quiet.
Okay,
And just accept it.
that's a good thing. That's a very nice thing.
Just I want to know, I want to get your confirmation that is it?
Yeah.
Okay or not or no?
This is the best thing we can do in life. If you want to get annoyed, become annoyed with Krishna, because he is doing this thing with you, not with that person.
And I'm just
वो best है वो. Yeah, that's the best thing. You see the point. This is first canto of Bhagavatam. Nobody is doing anything to anybody. That Kali was like beating that bull, no? So that Parikshit came and Parikshit said, okay, so this person is beating me, I'll kill him. Bull said, wait, hold a minute, First you have to decide who is beating me. I don't think so this person is beating me. And then Parikshit immediately understood, oh, actually this is not a bull, this is Dharmaraj. So that is dharma. Dharma begins with accepting this fact. That's first canto, first lesson. Dharma begins with accepting this fact that nobody is doing anything to us. It's all our reactions coming through people, this person, and that will come by this or another person. Best is to keep quiet.
Those who were very close to me, abhi suddenly they are just talking something. So gussa to hai, because he has never dealt with me that. Suddenly he is just giving all shots, and so I just did it all. I said, okay, thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So when he kept quiet, now things are clearing. He is not talking to me, just he got annoyed and not talking. But
Okay.
he is expecting that I will talk or not, I am keeping quiet. So I am finding peace. I'm doing more Krishna bhajan, I'm doing more.
Okay, one thing, okay, fine. That's
putting my head into
this is step 1. And I'll tell you step 2.
Step 2 क्या?
Step 2 ये है कि now pray for him. हाँ, वो छोड़ो मत उसको, pray for him. Step 2 वो है. अब वो step 2 पे आया. We should
pray किया मैं.
हाँ, pray for him. Krishna, please guide him, bring him to the right path. और step 3 बताऊँ क्या है? उसके बाद step 3 भी है. Step 3 is love him. That is helping you to go back to Krishna. बस वो करना.
He's not talking with me, क्या करो?
अरे वही तो, he is not talking with you. He is not talking with you. That's how he is helping you. He is trying to make you understand nobody is close to you. Only close person is Krishna. You were thinking he was close, but now Krishna has arranged. Bhaiya, nobody is close to you. Understand? I am only close to you. So he is helping you to realize this fact. Bas.
So how do I love him? How do I talk to him? How do I? I want to talk, but he's not.
Well, he is your guru. He is teaching you. Don't harbor any bad feelings. Don't harbor any bad feelings. Praise him in your heart, just like you praise any friend, and then you see. That's step 3. If you can do that, we are devotees of Krishna.
But step 4?
Step 4 वो अपने आप आ जाएगा.
Or go and fall at his feet.
हाँ, स्टेप 4 तो अगर ये कर लोगे तो बेस्ट है. गो एंड फॉल एट हिज फीट एंड टेल हिम आई एम सॉरी व्हाट आई डिड एंड प्लीज़ फॉरगिव मी बिकॉज यू आर हेल्पिंग मी अ लॉट. ये कर लो तो यू आर महात्मा. स्टेप 4 तो वही है.
हमसे छोटे हैं फिर भी कर सकता है ना.
हमसे छोटा कोई नहीं है. हम ही सबसे छोटे हैं.
ना, उम्र में बोल रहा हूँ.
उम्र में भी नहीं है. Nobody is smaller. We are the smallest. बस यही है. That's the truth. ठीक है.
तभी उनके पैर में गिर जाओ जाके.
बस.
धन्यवाद, प्रणाम.
बस. That's the best thing.
Very good. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Next question.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. 4 significance which I given. The last, the fourth most is a very easiest one and also very
Difficult.
toughest one also. It speaks about 𝗙𝗹𝗶 also at that stage. So that's how we realize whether I should do this or not. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. So devotees, no, I don't see any more questions in the chat also. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. That was really very wonderful class. We want your association. It's been actually a long time we had your association, but now today we finished your class, and we want this association in future also. Please come on board and give us a very wonderful and nice